I don't know. Maybe I'm just like the one crusty gal among us all. She does have a severe case of dumb bitchitis. Allie's boner for science does make an appearance in other ways. Well, howdy, partner. Fancy seeing you around these parts. Hi. So, it's time to start my reading vlog for the month. And this time, shocking I know, I don't have a plan. But let me catch you up on why that hasn't been happening. So, first off, this feels weird as hell because I have not filmed in probably like 3 weeks at this point. So, everything that you've seen recently has been pre-filmed because I have been involved in 3 weddings in about the span of 2 weeks. 2 of them were for family members. 2 of them involved traveling out of state. I am exhausted. My brain is soup, and I still have damage on my fingers from putting together balloon arch. 10 out of 10. Do not recommend doing a DIY balloon arch. They look beautiful, very painful to put together. That's not what you're here for though. You are in fact here for a reading vlog. So I wanted to give myself a little bit of freedom, a little bit of a break because I really haven't had any sense of normalcy for the past probably like 3 weeks or so. I just really want to get some reading done, finish a book. It's October 14th and I haven't finished a book yet this month. I need to get my sleep back on track. Need to spend some time cuddling with Kevin because he's been very stressed and very confused as to why I've been gone so much. So you'll probably be seeing plenty of cameos from him because he is very desperate to be next to me. But also side note, he looks very crazy right now because he has licked some wild bald patches. I think because of stress and allergies. Just know that we're in touch with his vet. Wow, we got off track very quickly. That didn't take much. But all this to say, I really just want to finish some fucking books because I haven't finished any yet. I'm just going to be picking books off of my TBR. I want to keep it easy, breezy. I did start reading Nocticadia very, very briefly. I got off the plane last night and I thought, why don't I get started on a new book? And I knew you guys were pretty excited about me reading Nocticadia. So I figured that would be our first book together. I don't know a ton about this book just yet. To the part that I'm at, she just got accepted to the university. Basic premise for this so far, our heroine saw her mother pass away. She had all these very strange symptoms and it ended with her having like these bugs crawl out of her. So there are some like body horror elements. Where is this hair coming from? Hello? Get out of here. I'm fine. No one panic. It was in fact a hair. Anyways, she saw her mom die of this very strange illness and then nobody believes her. They're like, actually, that was suicide. What are you talking about? So she wants to find this cure for this disease her mother died from, but also doesn't know how she's supposed to get anyone to believe her. So she ends up writing about it as a fictional illness in a biology class at a community college. And the guy's like, that's actually a real illness. And they're studying it at, I think it's called like Nocticadia University or something like that. He was like, I actually got you conditional acceptance based on this essay. Like it's kind of a hush hush thing. Like not a lot of people talk about it. Not a lot of people know it even exists in humans. So the fact that you even know anything about it is like super cool. And they would like you to go and study it at this like basically Ivy League school. But there's complicating factors. Her sister, she has to pay for part of her boarding tuition at this like private school. So there's like some complicating factors. She doesn't know if she's going to be able to do it. But I do know at some point this turns into student professor. So I know that I haven't gotten through the full setup yet. But my goal for this vlog is to hopefully do like daily touch points and just check in with you. I'm going to read a bit more today and hopefully have an update for you sometime tomorrow. That's my agenda, my goal. This lighting is crazy looking. I'll lean forward. Is that better? Okay. So my brain is absolute soup. So we're going to have to be dealing with that. That's all I've got for you so far. You are in the future because you're amazing and so cool. I guess that is how time works. And so you'll know all the books that I'm going to read, but in real time, I have no idea what I'm going to be doing. What a plan. What a plan. But hopefully I'll be able to interject some fun personal bits. Maybe we'll dye my hair together. Maybe we'll pluck my wig and prepare that for Halloween. I don't know. Who knows where this adventure will go? Other than I'm gonna finish some books, damn it. I'm gonna get reading, keep reading, go do more reading. Anyways, my brain is soup. I'm gonna go. Bye. Hey, divas and baddies. I've been reading before work, and I know you were very curious about where I'm at in Nocticadia. Actually, is my door being open gonna bother you guys? Let me just put my head in front of it so that you guys don't have to worry about it. There will be no one coming through that door. I promise you. Anyway, coffee break. Isn't this mug cute? Got different mushrooms on it. Okay, so I'm now 25% into Nocticadia, and wowee, are things getting way more interesting because we're finally starting to get the Gothic vibes because we're now in the isolated campus. We took a train and ferries and it just felt very spooky and atmospheric, and I just loved it because immediately it like sets the tone for this campus. I was a little bit worried that we were gonna veer into the territory that some authors, I don't know what it is, but when they introduce a character to a new campus or school, they have like an instant best friend that they kind of introduce to get them like involved and introduce them to the campus. And so we're just like immediately embedded into the campus life. Do you guys kind of know what I'm talking about? That always drives me crazy. And I thought that was the territory we were going to be veering into, but no. Miss Keri Lake saw that and was like, that's a little much. So she has introduced some characters that are taking an interest in our heroine. So at least we know she's hot, but it's not been so intense where it's like, girl, can I have your number? Can I have it?
So listen, can I have your number? Could I have it? Could I have it? Can I please receive the secret code that if entered telephonically, it will patch me through to you, which means it'll be your beautiful ass number?
But definitely some guys are kind of like, all right. Offering a little bit of comfort without suddenly being on the inside of everything. So she's still kind of figuring things out for herself because she's not like the people around her. She's very, very poor. She's re-wearing a lot of clothes. She has a laptop that's clearly not as fancy as everyone else's. So she's already kind of standing out. And on top of that, she doesn't have a lot of the prerequisites because she's coming in as a sophomore from this community college. And so she's getting into this professor's class and immediately he's like, who hasn't taken the prerequisites? Who hasn't signed the NDAs? Who hasn't done all this? And she's like, me. So she's already kind of getting little intros, little moments where she is going to be alone with the professor. The professor? Wow. Oh, what a guy. Yeah, morally gray. He saw the Hippocratic Oath and he said, no, thank you. I would like to cause maximum harm. Well, okay, it's not that he wants to cause maximum harm. He just kind of saw, do you guys remember that in ethics or philosophy? I can't remember where we all wrote this paper, and I know we've all done this before, or at least had to talk about this, where there's a train coming and it's going to hit a bunch of people and you can pull a lever so that it just hits one person, and the whole thing being, does harming a single person or the few justify saving the masses is sort of a deal. You guys kind of remember that paper? Do you remember having to discuss that in class? Okay, great. He kind of is doing that. And he's also got like a vigilante side too. He's like picking people Batman style where he's just like, let's clean up these streets. We don't really need you. Through being introduced to these vessels, these subjects, if you will, we've gotten to know a lot more about this illness. Wow, it's gross. Nasty. It's nasty. There's eggs being laid. It's parasitic in nature. I'm having a great time so far. This is easily the best Keri Lake book I have read so far. I don't know what it is about this book because I read Master of Salt and Bone and I was kind of like, I mean, it's good. It's fine. I think because I didn't like the romance. So maybe that will be the determining factor for this book about whether or not I like it, because the Gothic vibes are incredible. And honestly, they were good in Master of Salt and Bone. I think the romance is going to be the thing that determines whether or not I like that. If that's too instant and I don't have enough of like a connection between my characters, that might be what kind of derails me with this. I have a good feeling that because they have this shared passion for getting rid of this disease, that perhaps we will have more of a basis for connection. That's where I'm at for the moment. I will see how much farther I can get in. Maybe I'll give you another update today. I don't know. Maybe I'm feeling a little bit spicy. Kevin, do you have anything to say? You want to say hi to your fans? Oh, we get just a little peep. Just a little. Thank you, dude. I'm gonna pet this guy and purchase him a onesie so he stops licking himself. That is, in fact, a thing. Hopefully that gets shipped in time for me to show you. All right, now I really am gonna go. I'll see you later. Hi, besties. So we're in my kitchen. I almost said living room. It is the following day. It's in the afternoon. I have not had a chance to update you because I have been a busy bee. I've accomplished a lot. It's also meant that I've been in a lot of appointments, which involve waiting rooms or times where I've needed to read. So I have not gotten 60% into Nocticadia. But I'm just going to be chopping some vegetables in preparation for dinner tonight because the busyness does continue into the evening and I need to be able to make dinner very rapidly hungry, so I'm trying to do some food prep right now. Hopefully the chopping doesn't bother you. That was aggressive. I'm so sorry. Why am I pointing a knife at you? That was really rude of me. Good news is I got a lot knocked out this morning. So one, I went to my dentist appointment. I love going to my dentist appointments because my dental hygienist is the best. She's a reader. I was talking to her. She's in the middle of Throne of Glass right now. So we were talking about the character arcs in that series. And then we were also talking about, okay, I need to know if anyone else knew this or not. Did anyone else know that the Discovery of Witches series has a 5th book that came out recently? It's like called like Blackbird Oracle or something like that. Had no clue. I heard nothing about this. I don't know if I'm just like disconnected from that side of the internet or if this was just a really quiet release, but like that's kind of a big TV series, book series. I'm just a little surprised that I didn't hear more about it. Who knows? I'm excited. I have that on hold at the library. Then I went and got my nails done and you guys, oh, I feel like a new human. I've been declawed. Oh, if I haven't mentioned it before, I hate with a passion having long nails. I just feel like I can't do anything when I have long nails. I love the look of them. I think they're beautiful, which is why I kept them long for the weddings. But having a neutral color on my nails and the length of them being so long, oh my God, it feels so good to be declawed and have a color that I like. This is horrible lighting. I'm trying to angle it, but it's like a deep plum now. And I just like look at my hands. I'm like, those look like my hands now. That's what I've been doing with my mornings. But now I'm here to update you. Okay, so we started with the knife and apparently we're moving to celery. Ooh, hopefully the celery isn't too loud. I am now 60% into Nocticadia. I am noticing something really interesting. I was reading this section and I was like, Keri has a bit of a formula. Bear with me. I've only read 3 of her books. This is my 3rd book of hers. Master of Salt and Bone, and then also Nocturnes and Nightmares. So here's the formula. Are you guys ready? 1, the heroine must be poor. And not only poor, but in that immediate moment, have some sort of financial difficulties. The hero always has to be of some amount of power, persuasion, usually from money. And then the hero also must have childhood trauma perpetrated by his father. And we will explore that trauma in flashbacks. And then that will eventually merge and have little details that will become relevant in the present timeline. You're welcome. I have unlocked the formula of Keri Lake. Also, one thing that I'm really excited about is we finally do have more, not structure to their dynamic, but we are getting more reasons for them to be around each other. Thank goodness, because we did have the classes, right? She's participating in the classes. They have these kind of like run-ins across campus. And so it's not like they weren't spending time together, but it was just kind of like unpredictable as to when it was going to happen. And now we're really actively having more plans together. And so we're getting more of them hanging out and getting to know each other. And, you know, obviously he's like cold and messed up from the trauma that his daddy perpetrated. And also very, very focused on finding a cure or learning just more about this bizarre illness that involves worms crawling out of people's mouth holes. Also, another fun thing, there was a reference to Alien, which is one of my favorite movies. So I did love that as well. I'm enjoying the book so far. I'm having a good time. I will not be able to update you later today. Again, I'm still busy. One of my friends is kind of going through it, so I might meet up with her for drinks tonight. I am going to get back to reading and vegetable chopping because obviously I could not multitask. Couldn't chop and talk at the same time. Just wasn't happening. In fairness, these vegetables are crunchy. I'm gonna go. Bye. Okay, hi people. I've been reading, as I do. And I have an important question for you. There have been numerous solo scenes, shall we say, where one of the MCs is just like, wow, I'm just so horny for the other MC that I can't help but beat the meat, polish the pearl, flick the bean, diddle the skittle, celebrate Palm Sunday. You know what I'm saying? You know, you picking up what I'm dropping here? I just don't feel like those scenes, to me personally, ever really contribute to any like sexual tension or any sort of relationship development. I just feel like it does contribute to the overall smutty feel of the book for sure. But I'm gonna be honest, the second one came around and I was like, oh, like I'm so good. I actually don't need this, and I fully skipped it. Am I the only one? Do people like those scenes? Or do you think it like contributes to relationship development? I don't know. Maybe I'm just like the one crusty gal among us all, which could be. I just had to pop on and say that because I was like, after hitting another one, I was like, oh my God, why are we still doing this? They've also finally boinked for the first time, so yeah. But I do feel like we're losing the atmosphere a little bit as the relationship is ramping up. I don't know, is that common common with Gothic romances, because I feel like this has happened before. And then like the atmosphere and spookiness kind of came back towards the end once we got to like the third act. Those are my random thoughts. I don't know how much I'll be able to talk to you today because my friend is coming over and we're doing a little work from home party because I haven't seen my very best friend in like a month, and that just feels like sacrilege, and both of us are suffering right now. That's the update for now. Let me know how you feel about solo scenes. Hello, besties. It's been a couple days. Let me give you the download. I have, in fact, now finished a book this month. Hooray! It's happened, y'all. Finally, we are joined by the illustrious Kevin. He is in his onesie because someone will not stop licking himself because of his allergies. So we have to onesie it up until we can get his allergies back under control. But let's discuss Nocticadia, yes, because I've finished it, y'all. Third act, I think I could kind of see what was coming. That was plotted well enough and also had enough foreshadowing that like I could kind of put the pieces together, but I didn't fully guess everything. That's all I can really ask, because most of the time I predict pretty much everything, but nothing about it really like caught me wildly off guard. But it was fun. It was action packed. I did find that the atmosphere kind of flagged a little bit in the later parts of the book. It didn't feel as eerie, as spooky. Part of the reason that that kind of bothered me, because I don't think if I had read this prior to the book I'm about to mention, I don't think I would have really cared. But I recently, like a couple months ago, read Grave Matters by Karina Halle, and that atmosphere was, oh my God, incredible. So I think I'm kind of comparing it to that because that was literally like a scary movie playing out in my mind. It just wasn't quite as strong as that one, which is fine. I don't think that that's like a knock against Nocticadia. And then also, I just didn't find that I like fully loved the relationship, but I think that's just an issue that I have with the Gothic romance genre in general, is that at some point, I don't quite feel it as much as the characters do. I think part of what contributed to that with this book in particular is I really felt like this book could have been longer. I know that's a crazy statement to make, but it is true. I do think it could have been longer because there were so many different elements. There was like one scene where it was kind of the like fuck it moment with the relationship, and it kind of felt like after that point, the relationship became more of the focus. I kind of felt like the research wasn't as focused on the heroine's motives, kind of got lost a little bit. And I think I'm like, oh my God, if we had had more pages, we probably could have equally developed all of that. So many different pieces and just like not enough time. Even though this is a 600-page book, my rating for this, I think, is probably somewhere between like, I don't know, like 3.5 or 4 stars. I gotta marinate on it a little bit. Already kind of marinated on it, but I honestly, no, I really haven't. I finished it on Friday and I was just like, go, 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 go. So I mentioned that I was gonna meet up with like my best friend. There was like so many things that we needed to catch up on from like August. We were like worked together in the afternoon remotely, and then we went and got a happy hour and dinner, and we spoke well into the evening. And then Saturday, my husband wanted to do a hike. If I can find a photo, I'll pop it in here. We did that in the morning, cleaned the house, went to a friend's birthday party, got up the next morning. We had some other plans that took us until noon. And then we watched the Packer game. And then by the time we did that, and I baked a lasagna, oh my God, it was 9 o'clock at night. So I'm a little bit sleep deprived. I have not done hardly any reading this weekend. All of my updates are from prior. But good news is on Friday, I not only finished Nocticadia, but I was able to start Her Soul for Revenge. So I'm just getting through like the plot setup. I don't want to totally say a ton about the plot because I think this is a series that you probably should read in order. Juniper, our heroine, was supposed to be sacrificed by a cult in this small town to the god. She ended up getting out of it, but then they finagled it. So they were like, she's actually so crazy. So when she's trying to explain to the cops what happened to her and why she has all these scars, they're like, actually, you did that to yourself. So then she's on the run because people are kind of after her after that. No one believes her, and she kind of knows that the cult kind of wants to finish things. And then she's also been marked by this god. So now the demons kind of want her. They're in, they can like smell the magic on her. And one demon in particular is like, I know that at some point you're going to get tired of running. Here is my information and I will see you soon. And eventually that does become true. And she's like, actually, you know what? I do want to get revenge. I want them gone. And he's like, excellent. Your soul's a down payment and I want your body for the rest of it. So far, it's very fun, very horny, spicy. It's Harley Laroux. Of course it is. And I think because this is the second book, this one just like jumps in because they don't explain what the cult's about. They don't really explain the lore of the town, like any of that. They just kind of jump in. They're like, yeah, so demons are real. Anyways, moving on. That's where I'm at right now. I'm having a fun time with it. It's also kind of fun because my friend that I met up with on Friday is reading the first book in this series. So although it's not like quite a buddy read, it's kind of fun because we're both reading in the same world. So I don't know. I'm having a good time with it so far. But that's the update for now. All right, coffee break. And then I was going to show you, I got a package in, which is very exciting. I don't know if you recall or if you watched my last vlog. Link in the description here. No, not link in the description, link in the cards. You know where to find it. I had been debating if I wanted the full set of the Twilight 20th anniversary hardbacks or if I wanted to get this standalone version that had these like beautiful gilded edges. And y'all, I got the standalone version because I gotta show you these edges. They're so cool. So slipcase that it comes with. So when it's kind of got the book in there, that's what it looks like. Are you gonna focus? Oh, it's really just not wanting to focus. I'm so sorry. This is gonna be a little bit blurry. But anyways, so we got Twilight here. I think this was inspired by the meadow, they said. Something like that. But it's got like all this like gold and it's like raised. Gilded edges, as I said. Got a little ribbon bookmark, which I love ribbon bookmarks. They make me feel like Belle from Beauty and the Beast, which is iconic and I love that for me. These were the edges that I was talking about in that vlog. So ready for this? Bella. Eddie. You get to see both of them while you're reading. Isn't that so cool? I love it. I wanted to show you guys. I'm very happy with this decision. I think it's so pretty. Even though I'm not much of a pink person, contrary to this choice here, that was just the cheapest one. Anyway, all right, I've been yammering for long enough. Kevin is bored. I need coffee. I am going to continue reading. I'm going to try and update you later today. That's my goal. I want to get like 50% into this book. Anyways, okay, I really got to go. I've been talking for way too long. Okay, see you soon. All right, hello, besticles. It is your fearless leader. That doesn't really lead anything, so I guess I'm not really a leader. Anyway, I am here with, oh, you can just see his little baby ear, Kevin here. He is cuddling me oh so good because he is really trying to get me to take this onesie off. And he's doing his darndest. And so I'm letting him work his magic because who am I to deny a cuddle? I did want to update you on her soul for revenge. It is the following day. I did hope to update you yesterday, but I got a little bit of a stomach ache. I took a new supplement, so I'm going to blame that. But I just didn't feel that great, so I didn't update you. But I did get about like 60% into this book. I don't really feel like I have a lot to say or have a lot of feelings on this book just yet because I feel like a lot of what happened at the beginning of this book was mirroring a lot of things or not really presenting a lot of new information or plot that went above and beyond the first book. Let me explain. At the beginning of the book, we were getting a little bit of Juniper's backstory, what happened to her from her perspective, because there's a lot of rumors and it's hard to tell with the small town how much is like real and how much is rumor. And then we also got the setup of like why she wants to get revenge and all of that, get that demon deal made. And then, you know, we did some feckin'. And then there was like a lot of scenes that we were getting that were either another perspective of a scene we've already seen. That's too many scenes, but you know what I'm saying. From a different character's perspective. Although it's kind of like a fun Easter egg, it's just not really that interesting yet. And it didn't feel like I had enough plot or anything that went beyond what I already knew from the first book. Hopefully that's making some amount of sense. I just didn't feel like I was like really through the setup, and then now it's starting to get a lot more action-packed. So I'm hoping that we're finally going to get more of a unique plot kind of going with this book. So it feels separate and different enough from that first book. Like I said, I just didn't feel like I had enough that was like new and funky fresh. Why am I saying that? It's a horrible phrase to use. Well, it's not horrible. It's just a weird one. We're off topic. The relationship, it's nothing to write home about, I'm gonna be honest. It's very sex-based for sure, and good on them. You know, they're attracted to one another, they have the same kinks, but I just don't feel like there's a lot of depth to it. I'm hoping that's coming. I'm hoping that that'll be integrated into the plot. You know, we've still got a good chunk of book left. It's kind of tiptoeing into that territory that I don't love, where it's like, I don't know, I'm just drawn to her, and it's a little bit too insta-love lusty. Just flagging that one, because it's not the strongest relationship. And I know Harley can do it. She made me love Why Choose. So I have faith. I have faith that she can bring me around. But anyways, I'm excited for the plot to take off. And that's pretty much all I have to say to you at this present moment. And I hope I'm going to update you later today with more. If not, I guess I'll see you tomorrow, because who knows? Maybe I was going to say befallen by a stomach ache, but I don't think that's the correct word at all. And I honestly don't even know what word I was trying to say. So we're going to move on. All right, besticles. See you soon. Hey, sexy people. So, it's the same day. Look at me go. Ooh, also, do you like my Sasquatch shirt? Of course you do. So I just got done working out and I have now finished Her Soul for Revenge. And I thought before I take my makeup off and like settle in for the evening, I'd give you a really quick update. And sadly, I just don't feel like I have a lot to say about this book. A lot of this is sort of like rinse and repeat from the first book. I don't know, it just didn't feel that exciting except for the last action scene. So fun, so fun. I loved that. And I think that's what made me kind of almost even more disappointed because I was like, see, I know it's there. I've seen it before. And there was like another scene kind of midway through the book where we were getting an action sequence and I was really invested. But I just feel like there were so many overlapping scenes with the previous book where we're just getting the same scene from a different perspective. And I'm not a person that likes that kind of storytelling. I don't like when things feel repetitive. I don't like those Groundhog's Day stories. I just get bored because we're hitting the same kinds of beats throughout. And I think that this didn't have the fun of like discovering the world. We did make it a little bit richer. We did get like more information about like the demons and the gods, but not enough that I felt like really invested. And I also just didn't really feel like the heroine was that strong of a personality or interesting of a character. She just wasn't really giving me anything. I loved the hero. The hero's just this really dark sense of humor and it made me giggle at times. I'm not gonna lie. So I did like him, but I think overall I just feel like this is a fine installment for this series, but I think as like a standalone book, I just don't find it to be that incredible. I think that's just because, again, I've already read the first book. I don't really want to reread a lot of the same scenes again. Although, wow, did this remind me how dumb Ray was in the first book. She does have a severe case of dumb bitchitis. I still do want to read the last book in the series because I feel like that'll be more of a departure just because there's not as much overlap with that character in that first book or the second book's timeline. So I still want to read that last one. But yeah, the second one was kind of a disappointment. I'm giving it a rating of 3 stars. The plot just didn't wow me and the relationship didn't really wow me. And so it was kind of like, it was fine. It was fine. It was fun to be back in that world, but it was just an okay book. So now we're going to off-road a little bit. I end up getting a notification from Libby that my hold for Mate by Hazelwood came in. So I think I'm gonna read that. I didn't think I was gonna be getting it in time for October, like at all. So yeah, I think that I'm gonna read that instead. Plus, it's just shorter. I'm realizing how many of my TBR books are so long. They're so long. I really put myself in a pickle, but at least I have now finished 4 books this month. I'm doing it, guys. I'm doing it. I'm a big kid now. How did we get to singing again? Guys, this is a really bad habit of mine. I am going to get to reading Mate and I will update you probably tomorrow because I'm already looking rough. My skin is so dry with the change of seasons. And frankly, I don't want to appear on camera after I slough off my face. That sounded disgusting. I'm gonna go. I have no brain cells left. Okay, bye. Hello, friends and enemies. So I am here now to give you an update on Bride. The big bad editing police entering the chat. Yeah, so Bride is not the book that I want to talk to you about. It's actually Mate, but I'm not too far off. Unlike other times where I've completely made up a title, Bride is the first book in this series. I was almost there, and yet I wasn't. I'm gonna blame the hair dye, removing that last brain cell that we were working with. R.I.P. We have a bit of dramatic lighting. I had my thoughts all together, and I was gonna update you like during the day, like before work even started, and then work got crazy. So now we're doing an end of the day update instead. You might also notice that I look kind of gross. So my hair is processing right now. We're going purple, baby. It's finally happening. So that's what this is that you're seeing. And also why my hair looks like I just fell in a vat of Crisco. Hello! Are you gonna join us? Yes. Yes, he will be. Update on Mate by Hazelwood. This is definitely a series you also have to read in order, much like the Souls trilogy that Harley Laroux did. I'm gonna try not to be too spoilery with this. Hi, Kevin. You're running around like a little monitor lizard. Can you just chill for a second? But it's a little bit challenging, so if my wording is a little bit goofy, I'm finagling my way through this so I don't spoil anything. And hopefully Kevin's snorty purrs are not getting picked up on the mic. He's just right down here and his motor, it's going. But let me give you the basic premise of Mate really quickly. Our heroine, classic Hazelwood. She's sassy, she's funny, she's self-deprecating, but no STEM job. But fear not, Allie's boner for science does make an appearance in other ways. She is the best friend from the heroine in Bride. The hero is classic. He's like grunty and a little bit uncommunicative, and he's the alpha of a werepack. Our heroine, when the book opens, has some vampires that are coming after her because she revealed some information that the people in power politically in this world did not want really revealed. So they're using kind of existing feuds that happen between vampires and weres to send a few people after her. So good news is that she has a mate, and that mate is very powerful. He is the very feared alpha of the Northwest Pack. So he's like, you are going to come with me and I shall protect you. These two knew before this initial scene that they were mated. No, I guess that would be the past tense of doing the nasty. They were mates. They already knew that. That's the correct way to say that. But had kind of agreed that they were not interested in one another, or more like the hero kind of was like, not really into this. And she was like, great. So anyways, I'm going to continue being an independent woman and do other things. So she had been spending time at this remote cabin when these vampire attacks were happening. She's also trying to keep some secrets. So she's not exactly jazzed about going to stay with him because she's like, now my secrets are going to get out. And she's trying to not burden the people around her. Now, he's kind of got his own secrets. There's information that he's kind of been withholding from her regarding some of the pack politics and also some of the pack's past. Then she gets dumped into this pack, and all the while she is trying to figure out more about her parents. There's some medical stuff come up. So that's where the science still comes in. This is not dual timeline, but there are a few flashbacks to some important scenes from prior. So the beginning almost felt dual timeline, but then that kind of like drops out after a certain point. But let me give you my thoughts and feelings on this. I love this, Your Honor. I am but a simple gal. I don't know what it is about Allie Hazelwood's humor. I don't know what it is about her hero-heroine dynamics. They always work. Well, lies were told. I didn't like Deep End, but I love the dynamics that she builds with her heroes and heroines. This is such an easy read. I like the banter that she has between her characters. I like that this situation kind of already makes things a little bit tense and a little bit sexually charged because we know that they're mates. They know that they're mates. And so there's this kind of undercurrent to a lot of their interactions where it's like, hey, I know biologically that we're like horny for each other, but also have to resist because emotionally we have not connected. And this one is almost reminding me a little bit of Mariana Zapata because there's not a ton of like fully honest communication. Everyone's kind of trying not to let all of their feelings out and show, and they're trying to protect themselves emotionally. Mildly awkward tension, knowing their mates, trying to pretend like it's not a big deal, but also just kind of like instinctually knowing how to care for each other. So it makes for a lot of scenes where you get glimpses into their dynamic if they just let themselves be together. You can see where there's miscommunication happening. Not even miscommunication, sometimes it's just the heroine's interpreting something that the hero is saying or doing, and you can tell that it's like maybe slightly off or there's another way that it could be interpreted. But because we don't really have his perspective, we can't really figure out how it should be interpreted. That you just can kind of tell like, oh, that could be something that could be interpreted differently. How many times can I say interpret? We only really get his perspective in these like really short third person, not even chapters, they're like paragraphs. And they're these kind of like not out of pocket scenes, that's not what I meant. They're these kind of like out of context quotes and scenes. It's very similar in how she wrote Bride in that way. The only thing that I'm gonna really flag is that I do feel like the plot is just like mildly overstuffed. And it's not something that I necessarily feel a ton of when I'm reading, but when I was like trying to explain what the plot is, it's kind of challenging because there's so many different things going on. And there's a one piece that I haven't even told you about. I do think that maybe that could be something that gets us in trouble later, just because Nocticadia, I had the issue of like, I feel like the book could have been even longer so that we could develop all of these things. And that's kind of the territory this might fall into, but I will take that over what I just had with the previous book, Her Soul for Revenge, where I was like, I don't have enough plot that is interesting me, that's keeping me engaged. That was a very sinister look, keeping me engaged. Right now, like I said kind of earlier, I'm enjoying how easy it is to read. There's just a very bingeable quality. There's just an easy effortlessness to a lot of Allie's books, but it's not like it's knocking my socks off. Socks off? I don't even know what socks are. It's not like it's knocking my socks off. Really, really enjoying this one. This might be, honestly, the winner, because this is feeling like 4.5 stars, like solidly. I will come back to you once I have finished Mate, and I will reveal my purple hair. Although it looks kind of pink right now in the viewfinder. Hopefully I used the correct bottle. Mild panic is ensuing right now. I'm gonna go check the label of that. Okay. I'm gonna go and finish Mate, and I will update you with my final thoughts. Suzu, hello besties. So I'm back. I have purple hair now, which sadly is not in the best lighting because a rainstorm rolled in right as I sat down to film, because of course, why not? And I also realized that next week I have to do some in-office work. Whoopsies, I don't think I planned this quite as well as I thought. So I guess my coworkers are getting a fun surprise. Not that I think they'll really care. Let's wrap up Mate, shall we? Because I've now finished that bad boy, although I did keep calling it Bride in the previous clip, and I did have to edit out a lot of the times that I said that. So saying it correctly this time, right? Right? He was rearranging her soul. Allie Hazelwood or Nietzsche? That's right, you can't tell. Allie Hazelwood is that profound. The plot, I feel like, really came together, wrapped up very nicely without feeling like it was like too neat. There was so many different pieces, and I could tell that they were all connected. So it was fun getting to see all of that information come together. There was reveals that happened towards the end that there was no way for me to be able to predict. Like, I had no idea these things were coming. There was a lot of fun action sequences. There was a lot of plotting to figure out how to solve this and like trap people. The sexual tension through the last part of the book was high, but it was a little bit hard to enjoy the spicy scenes because they weren't fully emotionally committed during that scene. And I think that's like what makes a spicy scene really good, right? You have that emotional connection between your characters. They're together now, right? Even if something happens in the third act, like emotionally in this moment, they're fully invested, they're all in. It kind of sucked because I didn't feel like I really got that. And then it was sort of like in the epilogue, that's when we got more of it. I just wanted a little bit more romance in my romance, if you know what I'm saying. And I think them together as a couple does make sense, but I am just a little bit left like wanting more. Yet again, like Nocticadia, I wish this book was a little bit longer. Like, I feel like I needed just like 50 more pages. And I think the part of the reason that that really happened too is because a lot of the premise is based on the fact that they are biologically driven to be together. But I think there could have been a little bit more time spent on some of the emotional components because they were really trying to keep their feelings at bay for so long. Kind of my one critique, and really prevented it from being perfect. But like a lot of other Allie Hazelwood books, this one was such a fun fever dream. I don't know where this really ranks for me. I think I liked this weirdly more than Bride, but I have this funny thing with Allie Hazelwood books where I think because I read them so quickly, I get really excited about them, and then I'm like, yay, 5 stars! And then I like don't remember a single thing about the books, and like I don't even remember reading them, except for, funny enough, Bride has stuck with me a fair amount, and so has Problematic Summer Romance. I mean, I guess those are two of the most recent ones, but weirdly, I rated those ones lower initially. I think because I learned my lesson. I learned that these books are fever dreams, and I want to rate them 5 stars, but they're not a true 5-star. They're not that like resonate with me bone deep. For me, these are like potato chips, which I guess, you know what? Maybe potato chips do deserve 5 stars. I don't know. Look, how do you justify vibes? This book, I am going to give a rating of 4 stars. I enjoyed myself, and what more can a girl ask for? Especially because it's the last book in our vlog. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this vlog. I know I was a little bit all over the place mentally because I was editing the clips of the beginning of this vlog, and I can just tell how tired I am, and I'm still really sleep deprived. In fact, I just had to back out of a social engagement because I tried to pretend I was an extrovert last week, and it's catching up with me. All that to say, thank you for hanging in there with me. Let me know your thoughts on the books that I read. Do you have similar opinions, differing opinions? I know all 3 of them are quite popular, so I would love to get your thoughts and feelings on them. And with all of that, thank you so much for being here. Seriously, you guys are the best. You made it to the end. I mean, look at you go. Don't forget to give this video a like if you did, in fact, like it. It helps me out a ton. It's free for you and lets me know what content you like as well. And don't forget to subscribe if you would like to see more content from me. I mean, the purple hair is going to be here, and that's a fun new feature. And I really, really do hope I see you on my next video. Bye-bye.